Well, today is a full moon. The full moon hits at 7 hours minus 1 minute time. And so full moons are powerful energies. Good time to meditate. I mean, it's always a good time to meditate. I've talked about setting an intention for our meditations, and I know that a lot of people that follow me tend to be givers and put everyone else first. And so I do suggest that you include yourself in your intentions for your meditation. After all, our power is in ourselves. However, I had a dream last night, and it was about a balance. I was being taught in my dream by my guides. It was about a balance of setting intentions for the good of all, including everybody. And so let's do that today. So I am committed to meditating every day, and I've decided to do it live here on YouTube to invite you to commit to meditating as much as you want, perhaps every day along with me. Whether you are meditating with me live, if you can catch me live, it is around this time every day-ish. I do it before I start work, you see, before I start recording the videos and things, so it just depends on my day as to when I start it. Or if you're just watching the replay, not just. If you're watching the replay and meditating along with us, then all good. This is an awareness meditation, an acceptance meditation. And so we're not trying to clear our minds. We're not trying to do anything really. We are being present with ourselves and the distractions and the human condition, and accepting it all when it comes along in order to remain conscious. And if we find that we have drifted off into unconsciousness, our consciousness has gone along with our subconscious mind, started thinking about things, then as soon as we realize, we just bring ourselves back to that conscious point. And that is meditation, that exercise, that practice of doing that, bringing ourselves back to that conscious. And as such, we help many aspects of ourselves, our mental, emotional. We help our focus, we help our spiritual selves, we give ourselves access to our superconscious mind as well. And so you might start receiving guidance, hearing your guides, or just getting intuition from meditation, either in the meditation or after the meditation. It's also good for us physically as well. It's good for our nervous system. It's good for everything in the body, in fact. We're joined by Flossie, the tarot cat, today. So let's do it. So we'll start by taking some deep breaths in order to calm our nervous system down first. So breathing. I'm going to go for about half an hour, and then when this ends, I'll be going live for the members of this channel in a live channeling, where I'll be pulling out cards and doing some channeling. If you'd like to come to that, you can click that join button that's below this video. Another deep breath. And another deep breath, and letting everything go. So if you'd like to join me now in I don't know what to call it, a pass of the body, I want to call it. We'll shift our consciousness around our body, shift our focus around our body, to find any areas of tension, to relax those, or any holding, to further relax our nervous system, which will make the meditation so much more easy. So, putting our attention now in our left toes, relaxing those toes, and then moving up the arch of the foot, the left foot up to the left heel, around the front to the ankle, and then up the shin to the knee, from the knee up the upper leg to the hip, relaxing the hip, the femur in the hip bone there, relaxing it down. And then moving to the glute, feeling the glute sitting or lying down, but touching whatever surface that you're on. And feel that whole big muscle there relaxing and melting away. Moving across to the right side now on the glute. Again, feeling what it's resting on. And then feeling it soften up. To the right hip, feeling the femur relaxing in the hip socket. Down the upper leg of the right side to the knee. From the knee down the calf and the shin to the ankle. Around the ankle to the heel of the right foot, and then through the arch of the foot to the toes. Moving now to the left fingers. Moving up the palm of the hand to the wrist. Doing some circles around the wrist. And down the thumb. And then back up the thumb. And up all of those little muscles to the elbow. And then from the elbow up the bicep. To the left shoulder, relaxing the shoulder down, away from your ear. Moving across the top of the shoulders to the right shoulder, and again relaxing that down, away from the ear. Moving down from the shoulder, down the bicep to the elbow. The right elbow down, all of those little muscles in the forearm to the wrist. Doing some circles around the wrist and then down the thumb, back up the thumb, and then down the palm of the hand and down through the fingers. Excuse me a moment while I let the cat out. I'm gonna go out, Puddin'. Go out then. Okay, I'm back. Where were we? Coming out of the right fingers. Moving to the base of the spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae, moving up to around where the belly is, and then taking a deep breath into the belly, expanding the belly out. Make it really big, and then as you release that breath, relaxing the belly. Moving up the vertebrae of the back just a little bit more until you get to that upper thoracic. And then taking a deep breath into your lungs and into your upper back, really expand it out and make it really big. Lat spread. And then releasing that. Relaxing all of that upper body. Moving from the thoracic up the vertebrae, up the neck. You might want to stretch your head up now, elongate your spine. And then start stretching your neck side to side. An exaggerated no. And then exaggerated yes. Finding a balance for your head. And then moving into the face now, the jaw. Release the jaw. Put the tongue lightly on the roof of your mouth. Moving up the cheeks. Relaxing those to the forehead, the eyebrows. Letting them relax apart. Feeling the eyeballs move back and down slightly in the eye sockets. Moving up to the scalp, relaxing the whole scalp and feeling your ears move down just a little bit towards your shoulders. Now shifting the focus to the third eye, which is right in the middle of the forehead. Keeping the focus there. As the distractions come along, cats, noises, sensations in the body, itches, aches, pins and needles, thoughts, subconscious mind telling you what you should be doing instead, worries, random thoughts. Just noticing it all, being present with it. And if you do get caught up with it, when you awaken from that, just bring yourself back to that third eye focus. The third eye focus can accentuate, and maybe not the right word, can intensify the meditation in a good way. Now's a really good time to set an intention for this meditation. If you want guidance, if you want to change how you're feeling, if you're wanting something to manifest, if you want to get the most out of this full moon energy. Incidentally, the full moon energy is often about letting go. And a no often precedes a yes. So an ending is often, a new beginning is often disguised as an ending. A new yes is often disguised as a no. There's a great power in letting go. And trusting in our path. So your intention may be the courage to let go and allow yourself to walk or set foot on a new path now. Full moons can be times where the energies are accentuated and the people in your life or around you that are unconscious, not doing the inner work, not knowing themselves, not woken up yet to the fact that there is more than just the muggle state of being. And they can be really triggered by full moon energies. Can be displaying worse behavior than usual. And so it's a really good time to remain present because there can be hidden dangers around the full moon. Or not so hidden dangers. And on that note, when people show you who they are or who they can be, believe them, notice it. Often we can become too tolerant, too loving, too giving, too accepting for our own good. And things that we would never do, we allow in other people. And sometimes that can really hurt us or harm us, and it can hold us back as well. Staying around energy when we are too forgiving. Balance is where it's at. Loving ourselves and loving other people equally, which means noticing when we're getting out of balance and we're being too tolerant, and catching the grenade of others, letting it explode in our lap. In other words, taking the hit for them. They've got bad behavior and we end up hurting because of it. Don't do that to yourself. There's consequences to our behavior. Positive consequences and negative consequences, and we can't protect other people from their consequences of their behaviors. Something that we sometimes do is try to compensate for their behaviors, so try and counteract other people's energy and pour more love into it, thinking that we're balancing up those energies. But another way of looking at that is calling it enabling, because we can't protect other people from the consequences of their behaviors. The clearer we are, the more present we are, the more we can give correct feedback in an empowered way that's also kind and loving, but also appropriate for other people's behavior. This isn't to be judgmental, but it's to be discerning, to protect our own energy, and to also give the correct feedback to others. There's a willingness required to stand up and speak out, especially when you see things that aren't right, aren't good for people, aren't good for you. It's too easy to be quiet and let it carry on. It requires a spiritual warrior to stand up, speak up. And what stops us from doing that often is self-judgment. We don't make it okay for us to do that, or fear of the consequences for ourselves. But there's a big difference in unconsciously reacting emotionally to other people's behavior and noticing other people's behavior and calling them out on it from a present state. There's a very big difference. There's a new path to be walked, a change coming in our lives. But that change can only happen by us allowing ourselves to walk a new path, to do things differently, to not fear the changes that are coming in, but to trust in those signs then make the changes as they flow toward you. So my guides are showing me a vision of a teacher. Imagine a teacher. She's got a class of small children. And this teacher, she wants to be nice. She wants to be kind to the children. So she marks all of their tests correct, even if they aren't correct. And then she gives them all 5 stars, even if they got it all wrong. The guides are warning us against doing this. Sometimes we want to do that because we've been hurt emotionally by people and we don't want to hurt other people emotionally. And so it makes us not want to give people the correct feedback. But there's a difference. There's a difference between putting someone down, being cruel, mean, and being real with somebody. In other words, there's a way to give correct feedback without it being hurtful. The teacher can say that's 5 on 10 without laughing at the child or causing harm to the child. Where effort is being made by others, it needs to be recognized, and where it's not being made, you need to notice that too. You can't shield people, other people, from their correct feedback in life. We do the inner healing work on ourselves from experiences that we've had in the past that perhaps has left us with guilt and shame, so that we can be present and aware and deal correctly with any behavior that's around us, giving the correct feedback. Without that healing, we're likely to repeat hiding patterns, patterns of not being present and correct, patterns of not giving the correct feedback. Guys are saying that we burden ourselves too much and we take too much responsibility for how other people feel. And in doing so, we neglect how we feel. And how we feel is an integral part of our guidance system. In other words, we can be too focused on how other people feel and, in a way, keeping ourselves safe by not triggering other people. And while we're doing that, we're ignoring how it's making us feel. This is how we end up hurting ourselves to try and protect other people. So there's a balance to be had with loving other people and loving ourselves at the same time. This is a message for perhaps one or two of you, or perhaps more. Something that was called out as tough love wasn't love at all. And so sometimes we don't want to give very real, loving information to somebody because cruelty was called out as being as tough love when it wasn't that at all. It was cruelty. And so we might feel too guilty to give that correct, that tough love out to people. But you see, by avoiding our own pain, we're just doing exactly the same thing. By wearing masks, by not being true to ourselves, we're just doing the same thing, repeating patterns. Being honest with our pain, ascertaining the true cause of it, and then acting to rectify that. And if the true cause of the pain is what someone else is doing, the rectification is either calling them out, giving them the chance to change, or if that change doesn't happen, removing ourselves from the situation. This full moon, we're being asked to be spiritual warriors, to stand up and be counted, to speak out, to be braver, and to overcome that pain that has us hiding a little bit, has us scared, hiding scared. Many people are wising up now of how to protect themselves and how to recognize those that either unconsciously or consciously want to cause harm to others. Either consciously want to cause harm to others or unconsciously are causing harm to others. You don't need to decide which it is either, whether someone's doing it consciously or not. It doesn't really matter, it's the same behaviors. That's up to them, their karma, them doing their own work. Your part in it is to recognize it and to speak out. There's no reward for hiding, they're saying. There's no rewards for hiding away. You see the rewards, the change that you've got coming in your life. It's not going to come to you. It's going to come through you. It's going to come from you. You're going to create that change. And the change behavior in you, it's not going to be comfortable at first. But it will make you feel better once you've done it. And this is why the saying a new beginning is often disguised as an ending, sometimes a painful ending. And a yes, the yeses that we want, the things that we want to say yes to, the things we want to come into our lives. It's often disguised as a no that we need to say. It's a letting go or a no or a boundary or something that we need to stand up to. That is the gateway to what it is that we want. A yes disguised as a no. A new beginning disguised as an ending. Or another way to put it is, if you're trying to add something, you need to take something away first. The most fearful will not want to let go. Be careful of those ones. In other words, the most fearful, their behavior will get worse. Again, you can't save people from the reaction to their action, from their feedback, from the karma, the feedback from their behavior. We can't stand in the way of karma. If you try to, you stand in the way of your own good karma coming to you. So that's where I'm going to come out of this meditation. Lots of information in that one. Wow, the guides were chatty. An important full moon, this one, you know. Calls for changed behavior in an uncomfortable way, in a way that we haven't wanted to change our behavior. Nothing bad. In fact, it's good. Okay, so that's where I'm ending this. Thank you for meditating with me. I'm going to go into the members only live show now. If you want to join me there, you can click that join button down there and come along. I'll be pulling cards out and doing more channeling for the full moon for members. See you there.